Yo, what up YouTube? Welcome back to the Nasty Nate channel. I'm actually on my way to work the next day after we got back from Daytona. So I'm a little dressed up today, but wanted to show you guys the aftermath of Daytona, coming through all the rain and the bugs and all that crap coming back. This thing's absolutely destroyed. Check out all the sand in here. So I think on my way back from Daytona, or maybe down there, my turbo basically started to blow up. Luckily we made it home. It was kind of screaming on the way home. It's like a really high-pitched like chirping noise that kind of changes with the pitch of the turbo as it spools up and down. So I don't know, I'm really thinking the turbo is about to go on this thing, and I don't have a daily driver because my daily driver was the Suburban. So I guess my plan was today to go find like some kind of Honda Pilot or something like that as a daily driver, but I got called into work, so I'm gonna go work for today. I'm gonna do my best to look for a daily, and then we're gonna call some places about a turbo on this thing. Right now I want to get some video on what this thing sounds like. At first I thought it was an idler pulley, and I was like, you know, if that thing blows up we can get one pretty quick on the way, or have someone bring it to me or whatever. But a turbo is a different story. We did make it home though. 14.5-hour drive. Took us probably 17 or 18 hours because of traffic and rain and all that crap. But Daytona was absolutely lit. I mean, there is no other explanation for Daytona. You have to be there. It is the craziest thing I've ever experienced. Let's see if the turbo's doing this again. See what happens here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear. Yo, maybe it's the AC. I'm about to turn the AC off. I just turned the AC off. It literally might have been the AC. I'm gonna drive to work, and if I hear it, see what happens. All right, I still hear it with the AC off, so hang on. Throw my seatbelt on. It's like a really high-pitched like chirping noise. Might be kind of hard to hear. It's not super loud, but it seems like, so I'll let off the gas and it kind of gets louder, and then it stops when it's like gets down to idle. Yeah, I think it's the turbo. Almost sounds like the Jetsons, like little rocket ship car things they drive. Yeah, I think it's the turbo. I don't know. I don't know how to diagnose this. I'm gonna do a little more research, but I think that's what it is. So it's like under a little bit of a load, like I'm almost 2,000 RPMs. It doesn't make any noise. Then once it shifts, it starts making noise again, and then it kind of goes away. See right there, it's like 1,500 RPMs. It's like squealing real bad. Okay, I know all you LBZ guys, I think the LLY might do it too. They have the variable vane turbo, and when it does the thing, I don't know how to explain it. It opens and closes the vanes by itself, like while you're sitting at a stoplight. It just did that, and you can hear it like change from a rumble idle to a hiss idle and back and forth. It just did that, and so when it changed, right now I have it set on the rumble idle for my tune. It changes to a hiss idle for like 3 seconds, and then it goes back to the rumble idle. And what it does is it's programmed from the factory to do that, just to make sure the vanes don't start sticking while you're sitting there at idle. Anyway, when it just did that, it started like squeaking really bad, like it did while I was driving. So that leads me to believe that it is definitely the turbo. If it, you know, changed the vanes while I was just sitting there, RPM did not change, wasn't even moving. It changed the vane position and it started squeaking and then stopped squeaking. So I'm gonna say it's definitely the turbo. I'm gonna make some phone calls later today. Probably Dan's Diesel Performance, probably Ryan's Diesel Service, maybe WC Fab, maybe HSP. I don't really want to go big single turbo on this thing yet, because I just don't want to throw a bunch of money at it. The trans isn't built yet. I would like to drive on a bigger stock drop-in turbo, not stock, but a bigger drop-in turbo, probably a variable vane. I've heard a lot of good things about that. I've heard a lot of good things about the drivability and it being really fun to drive on a bigger VVT turbo. So I don't know yet. I'm gonna make some phone calls. I do want to build this thing later to a big single, built trans and all that, but I just can't throw the money at it right now. At this light, I'm gonna see, I can change the idle on my switch because I have tunes that do that. So let's see if it makes that noise. Not really. It does it. It just did it when I got back in the truck. I need to start filming and try to catch that. But it just did that where it changed the vane position by itself and you could hear it really clear. All right guys, I'm gonna make this quick because I got stuff to do. Gotta clean this truck. We're working on the axle under the Suburban right now, so stay tuned for that video if you are interested in the Duramax Suburban swap. Anyway, talk to Dan's Diesel Performance, talk to Danville, and talk to Ryan's Diesel Service. So basically, I talked to Dan's first, heard a lot of good things about them. What Dan said is they want to run a 66 mil, I believe. Their 66 mil turbo, and basically they would leave it stock fuel. I would get their 66 mil variable vane turbo and then run their tunes. And then Danville said something very similar. They said the 63.5 or the 65 mil. Those are both variable vane turbos. And then I would get tunes through them. Basically, if I ran a bigger turbo, one of those setups, and got tunes, it's going to be around $3 grand. So I'm thinking, I don't know, do I want to spend $3 grand on a variable vane turbo setup for this thing? So right now, basically what I'm doing is doing a bunch of research on my options, and I am basically going to just buy a daily driver Honda, probably a Honda Pilot. Hopefully I can find a white one so we can keep the fleet of cars all one color, just because I think it'd be sweet. It'd be a perfect timing if we had the Suburban finished, but you know how that goes, priorities, and we are not close to driving that thing yet, unfortunately. But I do want to throw a bigger turbo setup on this thing, so if you guys have suggestions, please throw down in the comments. I have not talked to anybody seriously about a non-VVT turbo or variable vane turbo, so I'm not sure what I want to do. I have heard good things about a 366, but might need fuel, might need bigger injectors for that. And then a lot of people said the Danville 68 Stage 2R, which I probably would need bigger fuel, basically bigger injectors, maybe injection pump to support that, because if you start tuning these things to run a lot of fuel with the stock injectors, basically the fan pattern or the spray pattern that the injectors, the factory injectors use, just kind of beats up your motor after a while, especially if you're romping on it, you know, partying a little bit. But anyway, if you guys have any suggestions, please throw down in the comments below. I'm going to leave this kind of open-ended right now. I don't know what to do with the thing yet, so it needs a turbo, and I don't know. I kind of want to park it, figure out exactly the best route to do or to go with on this thing. So stay tuned. We are definitely doing something cool. I'm going to try to get some sponsors or anything like that, so stay tuned for that. But make sure you subscribe to Nasty Nate. We'll catch you in the next one.